What's happening, YouTube? Jonathan Pariente, the Education 10 here, coming at you guys with another video. I want to ask you guys to please continue to check and subscribe to my channel for more YouTube videos. And well, as you can see, folks, I am adorned in my Yankees jersey today. Haven't done baseball in quite some time, and now is the perfect time because it's playoff time, postseason right around the corner. And it will begin tomorrow with the National League Wild Card game between first the Brewers and the Washington Nationals. The next day after that will be the American League Wild Card game between the Tampa Bay Rays and the Oakland A's. So two very, very interesting wild card games. The winners of those games will take on the number one seeds on each of the AL and National League side. For the AL side, the winner of that game will play Houston. And for the National League side, the winner will play the Dodgers. So, the other games, of course, the National League Division Series will be the Braves and the Cardinals. That should be a very interesting match. But I want to focus on, really, I think, what could be one of the most talked about Division Series games to start off this playoff postseason run. And that is the Yankees against a very familiar opponent they've played in the past in the Division Series, the Minnesota Twins. Now, in the past, the Yankees were always the team that beat the Twins. In every way, shape, or form that you slice it, the Yankees have always found a way in the playoffs to beat the Twins. Since 2004, the Yanks have won 13 playoff games altogether against the Twins. Normally, I'd say this would be an easy one for the Yanks, but it's not as easy this year. Not even close. This Twins team is a lot more dangerous than any Twins team the Yanks have played in the past. Even more dangerous than when the Twins had Johan Santana. Even more dangerous when the Twins had Joe Mauer and Brian Dozier and etc., etc. This year's Twins team not only put together 101 wins, but they have a lot of power in their lineup. Something in the past the Twins didn't have. Every hitter in the Twins lineup has at least 20 home runs or more. And that's scary. If you minus the catcher, Robbie Grossman. But everybody in that Twins lineup roughly has 20 home runs or more in the starting lineup. Nelson Cruz was a big addition for the Twins as he really deepens that lineup, and he's put together 30-plus home runs. The Twins also have a healthy Miguel Sano this year. They didn't have a healthy Sano 2 years ago. I don't think he didn't even play in the wild card game 2 years ago when the Yankees fell behind early and then came back to beat the Twins soundly in the American League wild card game. Max Kepler was still an up-and-coming hitter. Max Kepler's having a breakout year in 2019. Jonathan Schoop, another former Yankee nemesis from his days with the Orioles. He's helped produce and deepen that Twins lineup. Mitch Garver, a surprise out of nowhere, has hit 30 home runs as their main catcher. So, just to run a few of those names out there should already tell you something about how dangerous this Twins team is. And the Yankees, during the regular season, although the Yankees did win 4 out of 6 against the Twins, it was not an easy 4 out of 6 to win. Every one of those games, the Yankees had to dig deep to beat the Twins. They had to outslug them, particularly at Target Field. A series where the Yankees put up 30 runs, the Twins scoring 27. One of which ended thanks to a brilliant catch by Aaron Hicks. So, you look at it from the Twins side, they have tremendous power. The Yankees equally have tremendous power. Both the Yankees and the Twins each have hit 300-plus home runs this year, which is a major league record. The Twins were the first team to hit 300 home runs in a year. The Yankees came right after them. So both of these teams are very even when it comes to power. Pitching is a little different. The Yankees have the more dominant bullpen, a little more dominant than the Twins. The Twins' starting rotation is a little bit more equipped for this type of series. The Yankees are still a little unsure. For the Yankees, it's been injuries. Throughout the year, it seemed like every time a player came back, another player on the Yanks went down. The starting pitching was not addressed in the offseason. It was not addressed in the trade deadline. Luis Severino, who was supposed to be the main ace of that staff for the Yanks, he had missed almost the whole year with injuries. Lat strain, he had arm issues to start off the spring training, and he didn't come back until literally mid-September. The Yankees didn't have Paxton was hurt for a little while. Of late, Paxton's been unhittable. He's won his last 10 straight starts. Tanaka was up and down this year. He was having trouble with his splitter and wasn't able to put hitters away as easily. Although Tanaka has rounded it back into form, and for the most part, Tanaka is really one of the more dependable Yankees that we've seen as far as when you need him to pitch in a playoff game. The rest of the way, you have questions. J. Happ has been up and down this year. Domingo Germán had risen to the ranks of being one of the more reliable pitchers, but he unfortunately had a run-in with a domestic violence issue, and he will not pitch this postseason. The Yanks have also had injuries to their lineup altogether. The Yankees had a very, very different lineup that we didn't expect to see in the playoffs going into it. The Yankees made big additions this offseason. They signed DJ LeMahieu, a move that's gotten great prompts from Brian Cashman and from the Yankee fan base, as LeMahieu has fit right into this Yankees lineup. But he was not expected to be the everyday player. He was more of a guy that was going to fill in every other day, kind of rotate around the infield a little bit. But things took a turn. Miguel Andujar, who was the Yankees' regular third baseman, he got hurt and is out for the season. The Yankees then plugged in a young man to fill the third base role. LeMahieu did some work at third base. And then the Yankees filled in the void eventually with a young kid in their farm system named Gio Urshela. And if that name doesn't ring a bell, well, the Yankees faced Urshela in addition to 2 years ago against the Twins. The Yankees faced Urshela 2 years ago when he was a member of the Cleveland Indians, and the Yankees came back to beat the Indians in the division series. At that time, Urshela was a number 9 hitter and was barely hitting 200. He always had a great glove. You wondered when was he going to hit. With the Yankees this year, he unlocked something in his bat to be able to be a good hitter. And this year, Urshela hit over .315 with 21 home runs. And literally became the most important clutch hitter in the middle of that Yankees lineup. And he really flashes amazing leather with his glove at third, which you absolutely love. The Yankees also didn't have Didi Gregorius for the first half of the year. He was still recovering from Tommy John surgery from last year's division series. Didi eventually came back and put together a pretty decent, productive year. The Yankees also didn't have Aaron Judge for a chunk of the year. He strained an oblique, and it took him quite a while to get back, but once he came back and eventually as time went on, we started to go back to seeing the Aaron Judge from 2017, the one that would hit bombs, hit him out. And of course, Judge was always tremendous in right field with his glove. So now Judge was able to get himself back into the foray of the main part of the Yankees offense. Gleyber Torres was Gleyber Torres. In fact, even better than last year. Brett Gardner, a guy many Yankee fans wanted gone. A guy everybody thought his career was over. That he couldn't hit anymore. Well, Gardner shut all those people up and all those doubters up this year. Hitting 27 home runs. Make sure I'm going to pull up that number to make sure it was correct. But Gardner, for this year, and at 36 years old, put up really one of the best seasons of his career. And as we take a look, here it is. So Gardner hit 28 home runs this year. 74 RBIs, which isn't bad. Hit about .251. Couldn't ask for much more. Couldn't ask for anything better, though, if you're a Yankees fan. And Brett Gardner's been one of the constants of this lineup and just a great leader on that Yankees team. The Yankees then signed Edwin Encarnacion during the year to further deepen their lineup. And there was a time frame where pretty much in the middle of the year, June, July, actually no, it was more of May, June, almost the entire main hitting of the Yankees team was hurt. And that includes, of course, Giancarlo Stanton. So the Yankees had to play a big road trip on the West Coast in June, in late May and into June. The Yankees had to literally call up almost everybody they could find in their farm system to kind of tread water and just kind of keep the boat moving from the Yankees side of things. The Yankees didn't get off to a good start in April. They had to find their way through May. Then enter these kids the Yanks called up. Guys, well, Urshela came up from the minors, and he produced right away. The Yankees then added Mike Ford, a guy that really came out of nowhere and now could possibly be on the ALDS roster, possibly playing first base. Let's keep it going. The Yankees then also signed Cameron Maybin to a deal after the Indians dumped him. The Yankees signed Cameron Maybin. He produced right away. Tyler Wade came up. He came up with some big plays when the Yanks needed him. The Yankees also had to call up guys from the bullpen. They had players hurt for a while in the bullpen as well. The Yanks have been without Dylan Betances the whole year. And he got hurt again after he just came back, and he's out for most of next year. But the Yankees made additions to the bullpen as well. Adam Ottavino was a huge signing. The Yankees retained Zach Britton to be the eighth inning guy. Tommy Kahnle is back to Tommy Kahnle. And of course, Aroldis Chapman to finish the game off. So the Yankees were able to piece together 103 wins this year when virtually almost nobody thought they would. Nobody thought they were going to clinch the East with all these injuries. Everybody thought it was impossible. But the Yankees found a way to somehow get themselves here and win their first division, and win the division for the first time since 2012. Now, going into this series against Minnesota will be a very, very interesting tale. The Yanks were even having the injury scares in the last couple games of the season. Presumably, the Yankees, I believe, will have James Paxton be the Game 1 starter. But he had a scare with a glute injury that also included nerve irritation. Yankees are under the idea that he should be fine, and I certainly hope so. Urshela then sprained his ankle, making a play at third base in the final game of the year. Because, hey, this has been happening to the Yankees all year. The injury bug just doesn't seem to go away. And, of course, it has fans wondering, how are the Yankees supposed to win a playoff game when everybody gets hurt? Well, somehow, the Yankees have been able to ride the ship up to this point, despite all the injuries. And now as they enter the division series with the Twins, they should be getting back Edwin Encarnacion, who did not play the rest of the season after he had an injury scare of his own. He didn't go on the IL, but he pretty much didn't play the rest of the year. Gary Sanchez had just come back from a groin injury. He's still trying to kind of get his bat and his timing and rhythm kind of back into things. Severino in his final start didn't have his greatest start, but you worry about Severino when it comes to playoff games as he has really struggled. So presumably the Yankees should start Paxton, which I think makes sense. Worst case, they go with Tanaka. The Twins will likely counter with Jose Barrios, who's pretty much been their ace pitcher all year. The Twins, though, while they have at least an ace in their rotation, their starting rotation is a little bit questionable too. They lost Michael Pineda because of a PED suspension. Martin Perez kind of fell off a little bit. He has an ERA over 5. Don't know if he even makes the roster. The bullpen is pretty good. You have Sergio Romo. Taylor Rogers has been the main closer for them. They have some young kids to really shore up their bullpen in the midway point. So you kind of will wonder how this series is going to go. I don't believe this is going to be a gimme for either team. I don't think this is going to be a runaway for any team. Both these teams hit home runs. Both of these teams put the ball in play. Both of these teams' work counts. So at the end of the day, who comes away winning this series? Game 1, I think, is going to be the telltale of who takes the series home. The Twins, as I said, have lost 13 in a row in the playoffs. The Yankees have beaten them every year. This is a different Twins team now. Could the Twins be due this year? We have to see. But I feel if the Yankees take Game 1, and knowing it's at Yankee Stadium, the Yankees will have the home field in the division series, the home field advantage. You like the Yankees' chances. To be honest, if I was the Yankees, I didn't want any part of playing either Oakland or Tampa in the division series. No way. Particularly with how the Rays and A's have played the Yankees of late. You'll take your chances with Minnesota, but it's not a gimme series. And the Yankees may have to earn this series against Minnesota, unlike what they have had to do to them in the past. This is one series the Yankees are going to have to earn. And I believe if they take Game 1, the Yankees, I think it will help them to win the rest of the series. But Game 1 is going to be crucial. Paxton is going to have to be at his best. He has never pitched in a playoff game. So this is going to be a test for the Big Maple. He's been dominant over his last 10 starts, not counting the last one. Can he continue it? Are the Yankees going to be able to jump on Jose Barrios early? Are they going to be able to contain the Twins and their home run power? Because I'm sure we will see home runs from both teams in this series, and quite an abundance. We're going to find out this Friday when the Yankees and Twins square off at Yankee Stadium in the American League Division Series. And who wins the game? Who wins the series? I believe it will be the Yanks. But for the Yankees, the road to the World Series is going to be a battle and a climb. Probably one of the toughest climbs the Yankees will have. Probably in the entire playoff history they've been in the playoffs. We'll see what happens Friday. Jonathan Pariente, the Execution 10, saying bye for now.